These are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, Ron here at AbleSys. We'll go over the different charts here today and the signals, the AbleTrend signals. We'll take a look at them, look at some different markets. We'll look at currencies, stocks, futures, short-term, long-term. We'll mix it up as we usually do and keep everybody happy that way. And what I want to do is, as always, I just want you to recognize on the charts what you should be looking for, because it's always the same colors and dots, no matter what market you're looking at, always the same rules. Everything is always the same. So whether this is a stock chart or a currency chart or a futures chart, long term or short term, it doesn't matter. The software works equally well for anything, and it's always the same way to interpret the chart, where to buy and where to sell. So let's jump in and take a look and see what the signals were for today and what they are at the moment, because some markets are still open, although a little bit of a quiet time right now, which is why we do it at this time, so we can go over it. But of course, the signals never change once the bar closes. So I mean, that's the nice part about it. You can easily scroll back and look at today or yesterday, or if you're looking at a daily chart, you can go back 10 years and go, if I had AbleTrend a year ago, how would I have done? Well, these are the exact signals and colors and dots that were given at that exact time of the day. Once the bar closes, it's final. It will never, ever change again. So really good signal today on the British pound. Here's a 3-9 day trading chart for the pound dollar. I mean, if you had to pick a currency, I always find that anything with the British pound in it is always the more volatile one. Generally tends to give us the most profit because it's the most volatile. Keep in mind the stock market, indices, S&P mini, NASDAQ mini, all the U.S. indices, the VIX is under 10. That's all-time lows, as it has been for quite a few months now, although there have been a couple of occasions where it popped up and we had some really nice volatility. On every one of those days, AbleTrend signals, hit a home run. It was a really big winning day. I wish it was, we all wish it was like that every day, but again, a day like today, it's just very flat, narrow trading range, and there's nothing anybody can do about it, but there's just extremely low volatility. Everybody keeps saying it's going to break out. We certainly hope so more than anybody, but it is what it is. Nothing anybody can do about that part. But we'll just make the best of it, and that's why when most people, because we get calls all the time from people who obviously aren't happy with what they're using, and they're inquiring about AbleTrend, and they've just been getting completely chopped up and beat up in such choppy markets. But as I'll show you in a minute, looking at the indices, we had a lot of no trade zones, and that's the whole what makes AbleTrend so special and different than everything else. It's why it works so much better, because you get so many less losing trades than everything else because of the no trade zones in the guidance chart, which is what we're looking at right now. This is a guidance chart. This is the British pound at the moment. So obviously this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's a classic no trade zone. It's a perfect no trade zone. It's AbleTrend saying us here, when the first blue bar comes in, that don't do it. There's red dots above, and it's a very simple rule. We never buy if there's red dots above, because the red dots is the invisible resistance in the market that our software's algorithm can see. So that's why we have an advantage. It's got to be something. Otherwise, it'd just be like any other indicator. Most indicators are going to work when the market shoots straight up or straight down. When it's sideways and choppy, everybody gets beat up. That's when they get killed. Well, with the guidance chart, we'll definitely have some losing trades. I'll guarantee you that. Never want to mislead anybody or paint any unrealistic expectations. But you're going to get so many less losing trades, because half the time in a choppy sideways market, you'll have these no trade zones that I'm pointing out. There'll be very little trading will go on, because the best way to handle a choppy market is not to trade. Nobody can win in a choppy market, nor could AbleTrend. Anybody couldn't. Nobody can. So if you have something that keeps it out of the choppy market, keeps you out of the tough times, well, that's exactly what everybody would want. That's why it's so well liked. Another classic, perfect No trade zone right there. And all it did was it went choppy and sideways. So we didn't get involved in this mess here for 2 hours. That's the nice part about it. Let everybody else get chopped up in high risk situations, because it's just as important to know when not to trade as it is knowing when to trade. And that's the difference between AbleTrend and everything else. So no trade zone there. Obviously a perfect triple confirmation trade, and you had about 1 hour to do it anywhere along here. If you didn't, pick up the first red bar, you had about 10 chances to get into that trade, because it just went sideways. Notice AbleTrend gets us in before the down move, not after the fact. Like all the free indicators, moving averages and MACDs and anything else that you can pick up for free. Well, it's free for a reason. Down it goes. Obviously, this was a tremendous trade. This is a big winner there. No trade zone here. Not going to touch it here. You're at the upper band. There's your perfect sweet spot. Just be patient. You got to be patient. You have to have discipline to follow just a couple simple rules. Sweet spot, perfect sweet spot here. This is just a textbook case. Green bars, pull back. Now we can get in at a lower, better price. Stops right at AbleTrend support points, hidden support points. That, by the way, we started a half an hour before that even happened. Boy, is that good inside information to have. Triple confirmation with blue bar, blue 3-minute, and a blue 9-minute. And it just went sideways for about an hour here. So technically speaking, you had about 15, 20 chances here to take this trade, because it didn't go up yet, and they were all valid trades. You had triple confirmation, no red dots above. You weren't at the upper band. Boy, this chart was just, screaming at anybody looking at it to buy it. You can't get any lower risk than that. That is just a fantastic risk-reward ratio in our favor. And notice AbleTrend gets in before this, rocket ship move over here. Of course, always take profit if the prices pop outside the bands. At least take partial profit, take something off. And then, of course, completely out here. Stop losses go with the second lower row of blue dots below the price. So when the price was here, here's the blue dot below, blocking it from going lower. That's our protection that we want there. That means we're in an uptrend. It means stay in the trade. All these blue dots mean stay in the trade. We keep moving the stop loss higher and higher and higher. Eventually, we had it up here, but actually looks like the red bar with the red dot comes in even before we hit the stop loss. There was another really big winning trade. You're looking at some really serious money here. It's like 90 pips. This is a lot of money. And earlier, this trade over here was 150 pips. So it was like 240 pip profit here, which is $2,400 trading one lot. There was a lot of money on the chart here today if anybody was trading this particular chart. Another buy signal comes in here. Now you're really up at upper band. Any one of these blue bars, we lost 5 pips. So it's kind of nice how we won 230. I'll even knock it down a little. Had about 230. I think just can lock it down even more, because I always like to, I always like to say the gains are less than what they are, and not exaggerate and say more like everybody else does. So it's like 200 pips profit, and on the losing trade here was 5 pips, and that's where you see the value in it. Of course, this was a no trade zone here that I want to point out. Triple confirmation, blue bar, blue 3-minute, blue 9-minute dot. Everything is 3 blues. No red dots above. Triple confirmation. Whew. A lot of money on the charts here today. Here's a daily, weekly chart. Not everybody wants to be a day trader. Not everybody can be. If you're working all day long, you can't be a day trader. It's a waste of time. Waste of time and money. You got to be, successful. To be successful, you got to put the time in, like anything else, to be successful. Daily, weekly charts. You just get 1 bar per day. That's perfect for people who are working or don't want to spend all day in front of the computer. You can use it for stocks. You could play options with it. You can go shares, options on stocks. What's very popular is options on indices. You don't even have to pick out individual stocks. Make your life simpler. Just trade the indices. Russell, NASDAQ, S&P, Dow. It's a lot lower risk that way too, because it's not one stock. S&P's 500 stocks. Russell is 1,000. 2,000. So, obviously a lot lower risk when you have a tiny little piece of 500 stocks. But same rules, same colors, same dots. Everything is lined up here, triple confirmation. Any one of these. You had 3 weeks to take this trade. You, I, all of us, we had 3 weeks. The prices just went sideways. They didn't go up. Beautiful. Hey, if they don't go up, hey, I can still get in at a fair price. And then notice they start to go up, and then boom, they take off. Every time it hit the blue dot, stopped, bounced off and it went up. Stopped 5 times, bounced off and it went up. Stopped 5 or 6 times. It's just incredibly accurate, these little small, well, even the big ones, but the blue dots. They really do tell us where there's hidden support in the market. Red dots do the opposite, tell us where the hidden resistance is. They block the prices from going higher, just like it did 2 times here. And we started those red dots 4 days before that even happened. We started that row of dots. You got to love that information. I don't know what more anybody could want. Besides a magic crystal ball or our own personal ATM machine, I don't know what more you can ask for in the world of the markets. Where 85% of traders lose. There's a lot of odds in our favor here. You just got to have the patience to take the trade, to take the AbleTrend trades and the discipline to do it. You'll have the odds in your favor. But everybody's different. It's not for everybody. Trading isn't for everybody because there's definitely risk in trading, and not everybody has the right mental aspect there, and that's fine. It's perfectly fine if you don't, because it's not for everybody. Believe me, we all know the feeling. I certainly do. It's a little, it works on your mind, that's for sure. But if you can, the software has no emotion. So if you can try and put someone who can put their emotions aside the most is going to be the most successful. That's a fact. That's hard to do. There's a lot of money at risk. And then, of course, we had a nice buy signal if you were using our software on the daily, weekly charts here a month ago. I got the buy signal right here at 85, or well, you can call it 86. We're still in it today at 94.5. And that's $8.50 in a month. It's like almost that's 10% in a month, not a year like the investment world's average. That's a month. That's a lot of money there, especially if you're trading options. You have a call option on that one. Hey, you're talking big money. Hani wants to know about Wintick. Hani, I think I've probably explained it before, but I will again for you. Wintick scans the market, and it looks for new buy signals exactly like this one is right here. If you had Wintick on this day right here last month, it would have been on the list of new stocks to buy. Same thing back over here in June, it would have been on the list on this day here on new stocks to buy. Now, just because it's on the list doesn't mean you buy it, because you do have to still take that list and put it into a daily, weekly chart like I'm looking at right here, and make sure that there's no red dot above. The list does not cover that. It just gives you the first blue bar with the blue dot. There still could be red dots above, or if there's a red dot within 5 bars to the left, no trade. Remember, there's 5 trading days in a week. So if there's a red dot within 5 bars to the left, it's still no trade. And you have to check that in a daily, weekly chart. So that's why Wintick alone isn't going to work. You have to have AbleTrend to tell you to narrow that list down. And it starts with 10,000 stocks. Every day there could be 10 or 20 on the list. But then when you put them in a guidance chart and see some of them still have a red dot above, now we further knock it down to maybe 5 or 10 or even less than that. Every day is different. So in 5 or 10 minutes, you'll know which ones have a new buy signal coming into the market. Starting from 10,000 and maybe down to 10 minutes at the most, you'll have that information. So Wintick saves everybody hours and hours of time trying to find which stocks to trade if you're a longer term stock trader trading daily and weekly charts. It would not be for anybody interested in any kind of day trading. Okay, let's take a look at another one here. Mini NASDAQ. Just a big giant no trade zone here when the market opened, but not going to touch it here because of the distance down to the blue dots. If it's more than 8 points, it's got to be under under 8 points, and we just use that as a guide. You can use anything you like. We just use 8 points. It's got to be under 8 points, the price from the blue dots. So what does that mean? What do you do then? You do nothing. When in doubt, do nothing. Don't force it. You don't trade. It's a high risk game. You don't force anything. You wait for a sweet spot, and there it is. Sweet spots. Any one of these blue bars, you're down close to the blue dot. Your stop loss goes right there. So even if you lose, you only have 4 points at risk. That's perfectly acceptable. Actually, it's 5 points. Well, it's 4 points if you got in here. Actually, it would be 6 points if you got in up there. Perfectly acceptable. How did this trade do? Well, it worked out real well. It shot up real, nicely. Definitely take profit there, especially if you're trading multiple contracts, as most of our clients are, and then completely out over here. No trade zone in here. Blue dots below. Amazing how the prices went right to those blue dots and stopped. Like you were walking into a wall. There really was some invisible support there that our software picked up about a half an hour before that even happened. And there really was invisible resistance above. So what do? That's a no trade zone. It's telling us don't do anything. It's too risky. Don't put your money up. Move on to something else. Perfect, perfect, perfectly good advice, because glad we didn't. Now that's a losing trade right here. I want to point that out. We only lost 3 points on the trade, but still a losing trade. Everything was lined up and it went under the blue dots. And a lot of people said, where do I get out? There's no lower row of small blue dots, so that's true. Just put it, 1 point under the blue dot and stop there. No trade zone here, but really nice trade right here. The last hour and a half of trading. Got a perfect sweet spot there. Green bars go to red. Anything that goes from green to red or green to blue with triple confirmation up near the small red or blue dot is a really low risk sweet spot. See, green to blue right here, perfect. Green to red, because we're going short, it's the opposite. Green to red right here, yeah, it worked out nice. You got some nice profit. If you're the type that likes to get in now quickly, you're trading one contract, just take your profit when it hits the band. Hey, you lock in a quick 6, 7, 8 points. Nothing wrong with that, if that's your style. Got another sweet spot to re-enter right here, but we're stopped out. Lost 2 points. I mean, again, notice the losers, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. The winners, 6, 8, 10, 20. That's where, that's where you have the odds in your favor. Low risk, that's what it's all about. Low risk. Definitely be losing trades, low risk. And you got yourself a nice profit-taking spot right here when it hit the bottom band. That's 10 points. It's a little more, but I'll just call it 10. Good stuff. Just got to have the patience and the discipline to follow a couple rules. Certainly been working great, that's for sure. And I'll put it up against any other indicator or program and bet on AbleTrend every single time. It's not like it's had a lucky week or a lucky month. Compare it to whatever you've been trading before, before you had AbleTrend, or if you're on a trial now, compare AbleTrend to what you were using beforehand. You'll see the difference right away. It'll be very clear cut in the first week. Michael says, can you give alerts? Yeah. This gives alerts all day. Anytime you get a new blue or red bar, you get an alert. But you still have to be in front of it all day, Michael, because you have to make the trade. You have to look at the chart. You have to make sure that there's no opposite colored dot, blocking its path. You get an alert when you get the first red bar or the first blue bar, but that doesn't mean it's a trade, because it could still be, support below it. But yes, in AbleTrend 7, you get a pop-up box and a bell sound anytime you get a new blue bar or a new red bar. But you can't be in 2 places at one time, so you really have to, choose one or the other, or at least have your computer very close by where you're able to get to it and take advantage of any opportunities. Jeff, you said if there's a red bar within 5 bars to the left, you stand aside for a daily, weekly chart. Yes, Jeff, for a daily, weekly, because there's 5 trading days in a week. For a 3-minute, 9-minute chart, well, there's only has to be 3 bars to the left. So, for example, let me try and bring an example up here. If we were looking at this live, let's see, right here would be a good example. If we were looking at this live, and this is exactly what it would look like, and you see this blue bar here, and there's a red dot, in this case it's one bar to the left, but even if it was 2 or 3 bars to the left, no trade. You say, why not? Because these are 9-minute dots. They come in every 3 bars. So this, when you see a red dot, that's still a big red dot I'm talking about, a 9-minute dot in this case. It's still good for 3 bars into the future. Because there's a good chance it might come in. We don't want to take a chance. Again, I know I keep repeating, it's all about low risk trades only. Too many clients trading too many millions every minute of the day. It's got to be accurate and low risk. You wouldn't be here 20 years. So if it's within 3 bars to the left, no trade. A lot of people make the mistake. They go, oh, I can go in now. There's no red dot above. Well, how can there be? They only come in every 3 bars. It's a 9-minute dot. So if you see the red dot there, it's still good for 3 bars. Let's see, can I take it now? That's only 2 bars after. Good thing we didn't see 3 bars. Guess what happened? Another red dot. Because you can see all morning long, 3 bars, red dot. 3 bars later, red dot. 3 bars later, red dot. Kept on happening for hours all morning. So if it's within 3 bars to the left, still can't take the trade. At the open of the 4th bar, then you can take the trade. Then you're guaranteed that a red dot will not come in. And of course, the same thing is true if you were going short, like right here. There's no blue dot underneath it, but there is one to the left. 1 bar, no trade. Even if it's 3 bars to the left, no trade. At the open of the 4th bar, if it's still not, if no blue dot shows up, now we can take the trade. Now it has a clear path to go lower. I hope that helps. A good question, Jeff. Ani says, I tried a lot and listened to lots of gurus. All have emotions, wandering minds, and feelings, but AbleTrend. Emotion is under control. Wow, thank you for saying that. That's the whole point of it. You keep your emotions under control. I had a client today, couldn't even be in the room. Let's see. Oh, I won't say. Nice guy, too. He was saying how normally, gets all stressed out and everything because obviously, there's a lot of stress in trading and all. But since he has AbleTrend, it's found that it's just totally taken the stress away. Now, I'm not going to say 100%. I got to be real about it. But it's just his stress levels like dramatically dropped because he feels, a lot more confident. It's like you have like inside information. You're seeing like a picture of the market here, a much clearer picture of what's happening in the market and where there are these, support and resistance points that, how the no trade zones, just keep him out of so much trouble. Doesn't mean there aren't going to be any losers, but it just keeps him out of trouble. And when the losers come about, they're small. So, if you're only going to lose a small amount, it's a lot easier on the mind that way. You have a chance to make a lot. So it's just nice to hear that, how it just AbleTrend really, really, keep dramatically brings your stress levels down. So it just reminded me of that when you just said that, honey. We just had that conversation a couple of hours ago. All right, Jeff says, thanks. Alan, Ron, do you know if AbleTrend will have any special discounts around the holidays like last year for AbleTrend? Usually we do. Every year we have had that. But we even have one right now going on, and it's not really that much, big of a difference. So that's up to you. But yeah, we always have a little bit extra. I mean, right now we have a very nice discount going on too. Similar, almost to the same thing as the holiday discount. Michael, how does it form on Google, Amazon? Exactly the same, Michael. Exactly the same. The software couldn't care less. It doesn't care if it's the price of Google moving up and down, if it's the price of Amazon, fluctuating prices up and down, if it's the price of Apple, the British pound, crude oil, 3-minute, 9-minute chart, daily, weekly chart, 30-minute, 90-minute chart. It's totally meaningless to the indicator. It works exactly the same. That's why everybody around the world likes it for different time frames and different markets, and everybody uses it for something different in different countries, and that's why it's so universal. You don't have to pay a different module to get the stock module or the E-mini module or the currency. It's all the same. You've got it all in one package. Works exactly the same for everything. That's why it's so well liked. Rick, can you add a third time frame to a guidance chart? You can, but then it gets a little too messy. You know, more isn't better. Less is more. More is worse. I tried it, believe me. No, don't do that because then you have too many time frames. You'll never make a trade. It's too confusing. And like I say, less is actually more. So keep it simple. You're welcome, Rick. All right, everyone. Well, one more quick, Jerry. How about weekly, monthly? Yes, absolutely. Weekly, monthly, Jerry. Well, there's 4 weeks in a month. So 4 bars to the left. If you see a red dot above, you're looking at a weekly chart, and there's a red monthly chart within 4 bars to the left. You know, you got to wait for the start of that 5th bar because there's 4 weeks in a month, 5 trading days in a week, and then 3 bars. 3 minute, 9 minute, we use for day trading. So there's, the 3 minute, 9 minute is a 3-to-1 ratio. Okay, good question. And I use it. I love the weekly, monthly charts personally, for long-term trades and ETFs and seeing which way the market is going and, that type of thing, retirement accounts. So I love the long-term charts. Now, the day trading is great too, if anybody has the time to do that, but not everybody does. But again, the software doesn't care if it's long-term, short-term, stocks, futures, it's completely meaningless to the indicator. It works exactly the same for everything. It just depends on whatever you like the best. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here. Anything I can do to help, feel free. And as always, make sure you take advantage of the one-on-one trading session because I'll do a live one-on-one trading session with anybody, anytime, especially anybody who's on a new trial because you only get one trial. So I want you to get your money's worth out of it. I'll gladly do that anytime. So stay in touch. Let me know how you're doing. I'll be here to help. Bye, everyone.